Go.
To the episode.
I know, you see, somehow the world will change for me and be so wonderful.
If I was in the iCarly universe, I'd probably be not Gibby, but I'd want to be a Gibby. So take that one to the bank.
More you know.
Probably a Neville. Yeah, probably a fucking Neville.
Neville Longbottom?
That's the best Neville.
Are you a Neville Longbottom? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know if that's his last name in iCarly.
I don't know what iCarly is.
Oh.
What's iCarly?
Do you know Miranda Cosgrove?
No.
Do you know... fuck, you wouldn't know any of them, would you?
Who?
Jeanette McCurdy?
No.
Jerry Trainer?
Nope.
Drake Bell? Josh Nichols?
This fool be
Drake and
talking.
Josh?
I'm thinking about walking.
Oh
I don't
my
want
God.
to sit here and
Back
listen
at it
to
again.
this dumb motherfucker.
That's a sick beat, though. You make that yourself? That's awesome, dude.
Getting
Be
streaming
worried
on
about
this.
DMCA, though. Yikes. Twitch doesn't like that.
I mean, it's voice mod. It's allowed. I hope. All right.
Probably.
Anyways, sorry, that was just
I don't know. I don't even know where we are now.
it's okay.
Not
You,
First we were
about
in the
it ever again.
we were in the club, and now we're here playing D&D somehow. So
I'm gonna take Tyler's attention. Tyler,
Yeah.
stop doing whatever you're doing and pay attention to me.
Thumbs up.
Hi.
He looks uncomfortable.
Not the only one.
Tyler.
I'm here. I'm paying attention.
He said things about my hands.
Wait, but how do I know? How do I pay attention if you're not looking at me?
He's gonna put his dick
I
in
was,
my
I was like,
hand.
I was like, I'm looking at the camera, but I can't see you because it's like, it's like,
Then you miss me do something ridiculous because I just bit my lip.
oh, he's literally like camera here, other things over here. Like that's the extreme angle change. Anyway, so so yeah, you when you wake up, your body is still on fire. Your blood is boiling. You are in a fever. It hurts all over, more than of course it did before you lost sapience, before you lost control of your body, your mind, before you lost even an understanding of who you were, giving in to the disease. It takes a bit for you to feel the burning that kind of like wakes you up, and then you realize the floor that you're against is also warm. Maybe it's because you're so hot, it's heating the floor too. You're not sure. It's dark where you are. You can see in darkness, of course, but it's taking so long for your eyes to adjust to them. You keep blinking, and your pupils keep trying to dilate the right way. You know, snake pupils. Trying to dilate the right way, though. But it's not, it doesn't, it's a struggle. Maybe a minute passes, maybe an hour. You don't know. Eventually you starting to get some degree of focus. Roll me an intelligence check, but unfortunately with disadvantage. Fortunately for you, you know this place well. You spent so much time here. I mean, it's where you found your god. Maybe not in that chamber, but the one where you had spent so many nights sleeping. You find yourself in that cave. You realize you're beneath the warehouse in Momley.
How? What? What's going on? I imagine I'm still in snake form.
You actually are, yes.
So I'll be transforming out of that.
Okay, so you start transforming back into your man form. I mean, in your snake form, obviously you had left behind all of your gear and everything before. Your friends had to kind of gather it up in the past when you were in the hospital and everything still. But so you're naked in either form, lying there. The few exceptions, like your necklace or whatever that gives you your intelligence, all that stuff's still on you. Your scale.
What was that guy's name that used to live here?
It's a really good question.
I'm
You're having a
trying to
hard time
remember.
remembering it, and you can't rely on this dungeon master.
Friend, where are you? Are you here? I'm saying probably as loud as I can muster.
It's not that loud, despite your effort. And looking around the chamber, you don't see him about. But roll me a perception check. Again, unfortunately with disadvantage.
Nope.
Looking around the room, you don't see anything of note, anything that jumps out at you. Unfortunately, you end up straining yourself to look the wrong way. You forgot that you'd switched out of snake form into being a man. You honestly spent so long in it. It's kind of your natural form, but you twist your body and neck in such a way, you actually pinch a nerve and it hurts. And you kind of like end up like collapsing down and writhing for a moment. Your whole body still, your blood is literally burning. It hurts so much. You wish, you kind of remember in your fever there being a time where like it was so cool, it was soothing, it was actually helping you. But God, you don't know.
I imagine I'm just trying to find a place that's cool then. Trying to find water. I get up and I'm just searching for water, something to drink.
So you kind of like getting yourself up, forcing yourself, it's difficult. It takes time. You half slither, half crawl your way across the floor to get to a table that you use to push yourself up. You don't really see anything in here noteworthy. Everything's still blurred. Your vision's still not properly adapting to the dark. You use whatever balance you can muster to stumble out of this room into the hallway that has the 3 doorways in it and into the one immediately adjacent where all the supplies are. You do stumble your way in there. There's a lot of crates and stuff in here. There's a lot of stuff, but kind of move boxes out of the way, you knock a barrel over, and eventually, you find a barrel that's full of a liquid. It looks like water. It smells like water. Do you drink it?
I would taste it first.
Sure. Roll me an intelligence check. And Messy, roll me a D100. You're able to identify it is in fact water.
Then I'll start drinking it.
Okay. You drink the water probably too quickly. One of those times where you drink so much water, it literally hurts your stomach. Like you feel your stomach distending because you had too much water. It's honestly kind of giving you a stomach ache. You slump down to the ground. You're so tired. You hurt so much all over.
I'm going to try and crawl into the sleeping quarters, and if I can't make it, I'll just sleep on the floor.
Do me a favor. Roll me a wisdom save. Disadvantage. You go to crawl into the sleeping quarters, but before you do so, it's one of those things where your body is still burning. It's still boiling up. You hurt so much. It's so warm. Before you leave, you grab that bucket where you're sitting on the floor and you just tip it over. It's like a big wave. It splashes all over you. Like a tidal wave saturating your entire naked body. Doxy. Until you could feel it cooling down just a little bit. You're a cold-blooded creature. You're so hot right now. Wet and glistening. You start crawling across the floor, eventually are able to get yourself back to your feet and stumble back into that sleeping quarters area. You collapse on the ground and pass out. Hours pass. Many hours. You roll a constitution save with disadvantage. Chat makes a hype train to confirm that that's actually going to be the roll that saves and you don't have to re-roll. But just for funsies, roll me one more to see what it could have been. I hate you, chat. When you wake up
Thank you, chat.
When you wake up the next day, you can actually see that you're still on the stone floor, but now that you're in your man form, when you wake up, you realize there's something soppy underneath your head. I mean, snakes don't sweat, but in your man form, you do, because you're different physiology. And your pillow and the blankets that you're now lying on top of, which is strange because you don't recall them being there before, they're all wet. They're just drenched from you sweating throughout the night or days, however long it's been. Despite the fact you actually do feel a bit better. You made your save. You got reduced down to what? 4 from 5? Yeah.
Was it? I was 6 is where I would have died, right?
Correct.
So I had made the save before that, so I would have reduced 1 there.
To 4. That's right. Now you're down to 3. So now you're down to 3. So you still have disadvantage on saving throws and whatnot. So he's so what you call it? When you wake up, it's still dark down here. It's always dark down here, but blinking a few times, you're finally able to take in the area. You're feeling a lot better. You feel like you're recovering, maybe, unless you have another relapse. But you're not yet sure. You think you may have, you think you might pull through from this. You have your vitality returning to you. You have a bit of strength. You can see around the room. What does Ophios do?
I imagine if his stomach feels up to it, he's hungry and probably thirsty from all the sweat. So he again will look for water, assuming that barrel poured completely out.
When you go back looking in that room, you can see there's rags. You think the rags all over the floor, having picked up the mess in there, and there's a pile of rags thrown into the corner of that room. The bucket still has water in it, but way less than it did, maybe 10% of its capacity as opposed to being full. And to answer a question in chat to some moron that happens to be hanging out in there, as to whether cold-blooded creatures happen to, can they have fevers? Generally speaking, no, that wouldn't make sense. But this is literally a special type of disease called blood fire fever that would cause such a thing. And of course, when I say moron, I mean, love you, Neil.
Cold-blooded animals with infections, such as fish and lizards, will seek warmth to raise their body temperatures generally when they have an infection. But yeah, like you said, a hybrid. Just because I was curious.
Also, Neil, go over and check out Nerd Chat, whatever it's called, in Discord. You can actually, for the first time ever, see what I look like. I have a little side-by-side of the camera I'm using now and the camera I just got that I don't have the correct cables to be able to do the right way, but in like a week or so I'll be able to use. Anyways, you can actually see what I really look like. Anyways, back to you, Tyler. So you go in there. It's got like 10% of its capacity. More than enough to satiate your thirst right now. Your body still burns, but less than it did. Now you more have the burning sensation of like a really nasty sunburn.
Gotcha. So I would drink water, and then if those rags are still wet, I might actually use them on me to cool my body.
So yeah, you go over and grab those rags that are just sitting there, damp and on the basement. Unfortunately, they're not very cool because, you know, the ambient temperature down here is not very cool.
Warm. Yeah.
So you kind of grab a warm rag and put it on yourself, and you're like, for some reason, this feels worse.
I'll probably remove it then, and he'll.
Do me a favor. Roll me a, I suppose, perception with disadvantage.
Mm-hmm.
You realize this isn't really a rag. You kind of put on yourself. You look at it. It's passive looking at it. You realize it's some sort of shirt or tunic or something. I imagine, like you said, you throw it on the ground afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's kind of weird. I mean, if you would think that, does it look like something that would have fit my friend that was here?
No, he's massive.
So that's unusual to Ophios. And he's just gonna... He'll rub his head and actually go towards... He'll look for food at this point.
You're in the room of supplies. There's lots of rations there. Dried foods. Things like dried corn and rice and stuff like that. Lots of foods that can be stored and kept, so on and so forth. There's definitely a good amount there. Oats, all sorts of stuff.
He'll probably eat something light.
Even salts and sugars and stuff.
Yeah, he'll probably eat something light because normally when sick, you don't try and fill your stomach rapidly. You'll probably eat like oats or something.
So say it's funny. I described a whole bunch of plants to a carnivorous creature.
Yeah.
Well, he's an omnivore. He just leans towards meat as opposed to plants because real life humans,
So-
omnivores, eat way more plant than meat.
I imagine there's a cured meat or something like that he can eat.
Yep. Yep. It's
No
not
problem.
as good as fresh, obviously, but you're able to eat it, get some strength back.
And then he'll actually immediately head towards the statue. Does he recall anything that happened? I don't imagine he did. He was unconscious. Does he recall his fever dream though?
Maybe bits and pieces. Intelligence check with disadvantage. I'm not sure what porridge is. Like, I know what cream of wheat is, and I know what, like, oatmeal is and stuff like that. I'm not sure which one's porridge.
I think porridge is more liquidy cream of wheat.
I think cream of wheat is liquidy, isn't it?
It
Because like
condenses.
I grew up with it. Yeah. Anyways, you remember bits and pieces of it. The overall gist.
Porridge. I'm looking at it now. It looks very similar to cream of wheat.
I mean, I know what porridge is. Obviously, I read the tale of Goldilocks and the three bears. One was too hot, one was too cold, one was just right. But like
Kinda
the
looks
word
like-
porridge, like we have oatmeal, we have cream of wheat, but like I may have eaten porridge, but my mom was never like, "Oh, good morning, darling. Here's some porridge for ya."
It looks somewhere between oatmeal and cream of wheat. Like it's right in the middle from
Yeah.
the look of it.
I wonder how it's made. Like
Yeah.
I might even eat it almost daily and not realize it because I don't know that they just use a different word. So
Yeah. Oatmeal is apparently a type of porridge. Anyway,
okay. I eat oatmeal almost daily. Oatmeal and boiled eggs almost every day. What's up?
so he'll probably go over to the statue, just like touch it and acknowledge it and see like, and he would just simply say, "I don't know if you were involved, Snaga, but if you were, I imagine I was in dire straits and I wouldn't be here if not for you."
You touch the statue. Your body is so warm already that it's uncomfortable touching the statue for how hot it is. But at the same time, you feel a kinship towards it because it's your god.
Yeah, I imagine he says exactly what I said like he says it meaningfully, so like normal talk, but that's it because he doesn't want to hold on to it that much longer.
Mm-hmm.
And he might actually walk up the tunnel a little bit to just get into a cooler area.
Okay, you walk there, get to the stairs, probably climb up the stairs, but stay inside the door. Where, as you said, it's just cooler over there. It's so cool. It's so soothing. You feel yourself passing out on the stairs because of how relaxing they are.
I'm going to roll a disadvantage constitution save to see if I fall asleep.
You can roll that for a couple of reasons.
All right.
Are you happy with your 13? Okay. Your character does pass out. He's just so tired. He does end up passing out. But again, whether it be hours, days, you don't know. Eventually he wakes up and he feels stronger than he has in a long time. Down to only 2 levels of exhaustion. You mostly feel like you. Sure, you still have disadvantage on ability checks, and your speed is halved. So you're still kind of like, your side hurts, you feel aches all over, so on and so forth. It's one of those things where if you can get your hands on some type of painkiller, like an opioid or something like that, you could actually ignore the second step of exhaustion. But, you know, you don't really have access to that right now. When you wake up, you once again wake up in the same makeshift bed. Though this time significantly drier than it was last time. Still has that old dampness, like maybe you didn't sweat through it this time. It's just never finished drying from before.
I imagine at this point, Ophios will give him his body a look over, particularly focusing on the area he knows he got bit, to see what it looks like.
Sure. So, I mean, you're looking at it, you can see that it's still infected, but definitely the infection is getting smaller. Like the red in the area, the puffy kind of pussy area is getting better. But more importantly, it's the first time really addressing it. It's dressed. The wound is dressed freshly. The bandages have been changed. There's actually, when you lift up the bandages and whatnot to check it out and get the description I just did, there's an ointment that happens to be on it.
Having this amount of strength, he's gonna go search every room to see if he can find trace or find out who's doing this.
In the room that you're sleeping in, you were too dazed and I had a hard time seeing before, so you failed your perception check, all that stuff. But this room actually has a table with supplies on it. Off to the side of the table, kind of have this bundle, probably realistically sanitation-wise, way too close to the clean stuff. But there's a bundle of all your old dirty rags, kind of like balled up off on part of the table. Part of the table is the area where the salve, the lid to it was never properly put back on. And the bandages were kind of, aggressively removed from their stack, and they're kind of like in a bit of a pile or a mess in their own right. And the bottom few still stacked nicely for whoever it was that was using these supplies on you.
I'm gonna, like I said, wander around and see if I can locate this person. See if I find any other tracks or anything.
You don't find any tracks, but honestly, you've lived the life of a normal person for so long. You tend to sleep at night and be awake during the day. Funny enough, that's what the man upstairs does too. He goes upstairs during the day and works in the warehouse, then comes back down afterwards. If you're hoping to encounter him, you might have to wait till this evening.
With that, he might muster up enough strength to test his body, kind of doing motions of training.
You don't have any of your equipment with you, but when you reach out for it, when you call to it, it does heed your call. You have enough strength to bring it to your hand.
And it'll be the first time in a long time that he has actually tried to manipulate it and change what it is. And
is it anchored? Don't you have it bound to a specific thing?
I don't.
Okay, then you can.
So, he would change it to a crossbow. I
can't remember. Is it a short rest to change the shape of it, or is it just an action?
It's just an action. I'll pull it up here in a second.
It might just be an action. I don't remember.
This is what it is.
Oh, it's the improved version. I just meant the packed weapon in general.
Pact of the Blade. Action to create a packed weapon. You can choose the form that the melee weapon takes each time you create it.
Perfect.
So,
there you go. Cool. Awesome. So you create it as what?
He would go through the cycle and actually, obviously, he's well versed in one particular type, the falchion, but he would actually start manipulating it to other things and see how it feels to an extent. Obviously, very limited. He's not swinging real hard or doing stuff like that. It's very through the motions. So he would. I imagine he would only switch it to weapons he has seen. So surprisingly, he would replicate Rena's axes. And in
Get his mind on Rena's axe.
Be with his mind going to, I wonder where Rena is. Is Rena the one taking care of me? He would transform it into a short sword, much like Yondis used. Kind of going through and just feeling the different weapons he has seen allies use, he has seen enemies use, and just going through motions and getting a feel for his ability to switch it to whatever he wanted to.
You kind of go through those motions, like you said, the different techniques and practicing. As I said beforehand, your strength is returned, even if you are moving sluggishly. Each swing costs 2 or 3 times the amount of energy it usually would. You find yourself exhausted kind of quickly. Maybe it's too soon to push yourself. Maybe you should just relax. It was good to work up a sweat, but honestly, you're dehydrated.
Then what he'll do is he'll go into the room with the salamander statue and be actually quite far away from it and just meditate.
Hours pass. When eventually the snake returns downstairs, you hear him slithering across the floor.
Chat, have any of you found out what his name is for us? Forgetfuls.
Phil? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it goes around. You do you approach him as he goes by, or do you wait till he comes to you?
If I hear him coming down the tunnel, I would probably break out a meditation and then go outside the door and just kind of await him.
Okay. So as you go out and have him approach you, he sees you. He's like, you're out of your beds, and this time's not flops abouts.
Yes.
You make many messes, but you's not put on pants.
Too warm.
There's these worms. Why? Remember, human upper body, snake bottom body. For him to speak this way, he tries to.
Yeah. He would simply just say, I imagine this infection was something beyond an infection.
What's you fight?
It's called a troll hound.
I knows not what this is. Yous comes backs to Momley's. Yous makes your ways downstairs?
No, I don't remember that. I was, and he would just immediately think, really east. I was east. Or west.
South.
South.
South, mostly.
Was it southwest? I think it was southwest.
1-800 Southwest. Yes, southwest.
So he would say, I was really far south of here. I honestly don't know how he got here.
I found yous by the statue. Did you see someone's name's Ilin?
Ellen.
Illin's.
I don't recall that name.
And you wouldn't.
So, and he would be like, I don't know that name.
I
Did you
met a
see-
man with glowing eyes. He's fought me. It was not a bad man's. He came through statues.
He came that statue?
He
And you fought him?
eyes was in rooms with statues, doing works, and I saws magma pours out of it, and the magma's made a man. I attacks, we fought, I almost killed him. I was crushing him, and there was no escape for him. Then he informed me that he was not here for fights, pleads for lives. I spares him. He says he came from the basements of another's rooms, a bank.
Do I recall anything of the bank? I feel like I was completely feverish and passed out during that time.
Not really, no.
Ophios would just rub his head and be like, have you seen Rena?
Rena.
The female companion.
Eyes knows who she is. Ives has not seen Rena's since you's left here. Got taken.
How? I don't understand.
It was long times ago. Long times ago.
Like years?
Maybe's 2 years.
I'm gonna look at him and see if he's visibly aged.
Yes.
How long have I been out? I'm gonna see if I can find something to look at myself to see if it's any different from when I left the temple.
You look no different. The seven look like shit from when you left the temple, but he goes, I don't knows, but you looks like shits. I thought you was younger than me, but you look old now, Boomer.
You've aged too. I can't believe it's been years.
2 years. It's been strange times.
How so?
Things different. Not long after you left. It's just the ways things happens. People's buzzing about. Some of the higher ups acting strange. I have suspicions, perhaps Lopers. It's raining. Always. Storms. Often. Seems like this never ends.
I need to see the outside, but I don't feel I'm fully myself yet. Is there any more information you can give me? Have you heard anything of Rena? Have you heard anything of a man named Elijah?
You've been gone for 2 years. I assumes you're dead.
Apparently I nearly was until you helped me again.
Well, you're luckies. This has been sitting here for years.
What's
Gestures towards the chamber with lots of supplies.
Are you saying these supplies are for me?
These got brought here from Ravenshold's. Ravenshold said they would support the uprisings.
That's right. Oh my gosh, that was so long ago.
It was.
It got squashed. Rena and I went to prison. It's what we had to do, but I think we found an unusual person, somebody from Rena's past who investigated the Lopers. Somebody on the inside that would have that I think would have helped us, or has helped us.
Yous tells lots of peoples about us.
They don't know about, well, that's true. I did tell him, but he kept his word. And he was very upset when he found out what happened in that prison.
I don't care about prisons. As I've said, lots of activities here's. Maybe's Lopers. People's acting strange. Strange these past couple years. Weather's off and people's off. People's always seems confused that travel through.
How so? What do they say when they walk through?
Shipments come very late, and they says that they left on times. Perhaps they 3 months late, and they say they've only been traveling for 2 days. And others show up days I've orders them, and they saves as they've received my shipments orders week beforehand. I check ledger, but we makes mistakes.
You send it out and it arrives early for them, but they send it and it arrives late every time, consistently. Oh no. Time needs guidance. The temple. He's muttering to himself.
Temples.
I found a Loper temple.
Loper temple, he says, and like rises up.
We cleared it.
How many Lopers fell that day?
There were none there.
It also wasn't a day, it was years.
Yeah. It was...
You cleared the temples of Lopers with no Lopers. Not much clearings, I'd say.
There was a different creature, and he would describe it. A being with mouths and claws. But he'd look on his body and be like, I don't have my stuff to show you.
What's you describes?
Some sort of being creature with a mouth. Did it have more than one mouth? It had 5 limbs, 6? I can't remember.
All's arms.
Yes.
Like starfish.
Yes.
I've heard rumors. Others talks about these things. People sees them.
Here.
People's traveling. People sometimes in towns. People sometimes disappears.
In this world?
Yes.
Oh,
I
God.
Was believed to be rumors.
Oh, God. The only way to catch them is to know they're coming and know the spot in which they appear and to strike fast and swiftly. Oh, no.
Ophios,
What about...
where'd you come from?
Stupidly, he's going to say, my clutch?
Ice means recentlys. You're stills with Renas.
Yeah. We were, and he'd probably, that town, we were headed to
Hod
Gwen.
I do not know Gwen's Hod's Gwen's. I do not know this place.
It's south, far south.
Wells, after I spoke to mans, he touched statues, and he turns back, and left and not come back again. Maybe Snagas eats him. Maybe he goes back where he came from. Perhaps you needs go back stairs. Fix what you's brokes.
How?
Use brokes?
Time needs a guide. I cannot be the guide.
Whose was guiding times before us?
He's dead now.
Who's guiding times before us hymns?
Oh, the stranger that left. I imagine
Strangers.
we need to locate him.
Who's Izzy's?
We don't know, but we know who he left with. That's our only connection.
Who's he leaves with?
What's that person's name?
Jen Mallis.
Jamalis?
Jen Mallis.
Jen Malice. Mollis.
Jen Mallis, Mallis, either way.
Mollis. Jen Mollis. Jen. Jen. Need to find Jen.
Jen's Mallis is.
You know the name?
It's one of the names in the areas. In Zmomsley's, not too long ago.
Oh my god. Is the person who left causing... Oh my god. I need to locate Jen. Any information you can provide would be highly appreciated.
I heard the names. That's all's. Supplies delivers to the names. They were picked up by others. Military's men's came and took it. But this was months ago's. It was picked up in this cities. So, must have spent times for years.
I'll have to check in with you. If I am able to travel through this statue and hopefully end up where I had left, that would be essential.
I've been studying statues for years. I've had feelings there was magmas inside of it. And then you finds the magmas. And then you travels through magma's tubes. I studied these for years. And you've discovered how to use.
I don't know if I've discovered it, but that's the only way I can imagine I made it here.
Well, as imagines against. Use.
Thank you. I will let your name be known next time I run into our kind.
Just don't make me nurse your naked ass again.
I'll do my best. And he'll walk into the supply room and grab some clothes to throw on. And
Absolutely.
he'll actually, well, yeah, he'll grab some clothes to throw on and he'll go and touch the statue and just he'll just simply ask, Return me to where I was if this is how I got here.
Your whole body returns to magma and goes into the statue. And the two of you go walking into that small town where you had seen where you'd fought that creature before. Before we end the stream, you meet up with him. What was his name again? Give me 1 second. His name was... I just said several times. Oh, that's right. Devosky. You meet up with Devosky. It's hard to miss him. He was described as a mountain man. And he's a large man indeed. Standing impressive in height and girth. You've encountered these mountain men before, Rena. In case you recall season 2. Traveling to the mountain region. Mapping it out, so on and so forth. Before we end the stream, as you walk towards the man, you approach him. Tyler, describe what he looks like.
He's a tall, very rugged-looking, beat-up man from afar. But as you get closer, you notice he's refined. But on his arm, there's a pattern. Scars, lines, marks. You know not why. Up and down his left arm, up and down his right arm, across his body, and even one gash across his face. He's 7'7", standing tall in stature. Great sword on his back, long bow across the other way. Arms crossed, stubborn. Skin is a rough gray, clearly weathered. Not necessarily, doesn't look like he's had a bath recently, but looks like he can stand up in a fight. Maybe even crush Rena with one hand.
Maybe he's gonna crush on Rena. Speaking of Rena, who are you? Why do we care? And how do we creep on you?
A lot of questions I don't want to answer all of a sudden. I'm just kidding. No, y'all know me. I'm Rena the Destroyer. Here on Twitch, variety streamer. Been playing several different games. I actually just started playing Fall Guys, which is hilarious and fun. I am stuck on Dark Souls, which is frustrating. So I'm glad that I found Fall Guys. But yeah, that's what I've been doing. I am planning a stream, hopefully soon. It's gonna be Breath of the Wild or something. Legend of Zelda related, but I'm gonna be in my full Skull Kid cosplay, mask and everything. So look out for that on my Twitter and stuff. You can find all that on my page. Otherwise, check out everybody else here because they're the best.
Are you still doing TikTok?
I have got one. I haven't made one in a hot minute, but yeah, I've got one.
Okay. I don't have them TikToks. My president said it's bad for me.
Yeah, they're very time consuming, you know.
TikTok.
They're hard to make. TikToks are hard to make.
I'm sure to make it's time consuming.
Mm-hmm.
To watch it's sit there
also
for
to
30
watch
seconds.
is time consuming too. Be stuck on there for hours.
Just do while you're pooping.
All right.
Messy. Speaking of poop.
What? What does that mean? What do you mean? I don't understand. Hey. What's up? Follow me on Twitter. Sometimes I like things from the MeIRL bot. Dank memes and perfectly cut screams. So those might show up on your page every once in a while. Only the good ones though. And like once a month. So thanks. I won't even tell the URL. You gotta go find it.
Is that it?
That's it. That's it.
As disappointing as always.
Well, as always. Gotta keep up with the brand, you know?
Yeah. You know. Tyler.
Hey, it's me, Apocalypto12. You know, that's what I do. That's where I am on Twitch. YouTube, Apocalypto12. no underscore. Still creating content, doing fantastic stuff. Unfortunately, my editor seems to be going by the wayside, so YouTube videos might see a slight dip, but I'm working on getting that fixed. But I did get a video up today, so if you want to check that out, it's part 7 of Luigi's Mansion. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the actual game itself. It's a boss battle, and it's the floor that's very music-based. And music inspired. I really enjoyed that part of the game. So that video went up today. Playing a lot of Fall Guys, and I actually got my first win ever yesterday. So I was super hype about that. It was actually on the last run before I had to end the stream. So it was like super clutch.
It went out on a W.
Yeah, went out on a W. But
terrible idea for a game.
What, Fall Guys?
Yeah, what a bad idea.
It's such a brilliant idea. I love it. It's Wipeout in video game form. Which really is Wipeout is a copy of a Japanese game show that I can't remember the name of because I'm really bad. But super, super cool. I've been having a lot of fun with that and getting more into regular stream schedule and planning more and more stuff for the future as I continue to pound away at work and life and things like that. So just excited to be here. Oh, and I'm also in a Warhammer campaign. You can see me over on Roll For It Sunday mornings at...
What are you playing?
10. What am I playing?
Yeah.
It's playing Warhammer
Imperial Guardsman. It's Warhammer 40K. I can't remember the system off the top of my head. We're all regiment leaders, and my guys are the Hardhides from Jungle World 256. We are the 21st Grenadiers, nicknamed the Hardhides, based off the creature from our world that we hunt as our training.
Maybe. Oh, okay. That doesn't really matter. That's more about lore stuff. That's cool though.
Yeah, it's only war. Yeah, only war.
How many people are under your command?
Currently, I am only a sergeant, so not a lot. A few platoons, but we are getting overrun and many lieutenants are dying, so promotions are happening pretty quickly and working on the fly, so it'll continually increase. But working really closely with a few other different specialized regiments, with Maggie, Bentham, and Vandy as my fellow castmates.
That's cool.
And Sheepy is the DM.
So all funny names.
Yeah.
Sheepy?
You can actually
yeah.
Yeah.
Are they? Should I ask? Are they
cool.
Welsh?
They're real sheep, yes.
I meant the person Sheepy, are they Welsh? Because I have to be
Irish?
a little concerned. Irish? That's okay then. That's okay. It's fine.
So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I've been having a lot of fun over there. Oh, but kind of excited to try and design and create this mountain man tonight. So
Tyler's gonna be playing a temporary side character. It'll be fun. Give him a moment to do something else. Don't want to have another whole session of him just sitting there bored. Come on. All right.
it's fine. I was enjoying listening. It was just that one time where a video I accidentally clicked on started playing sound. I'm like, oh, turn it off.
It's like, shit, thank God it was in one of those porns that start off loud.
It was a golfing
video.
Yeah, golfing. That's
Yep, hole in one.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was golf.
Woo, thank
Sure.
God, silent porn. Woo, dodged a bullet.
Yeah, that's what I would do while on stream. Let me pull up porn.
I used the wood before I switched to my 9-iron. Anyways, so everybody, thank you so much for coming by and hanging out. Thank you for all the incredible support. Last person to call out was Couch Burgers. That's an awesome name because Couch Burgers makes me think of somebody like cleaning the living room, like just like a bi-monthly whatever, like vacuum out the couch like hardcore and be like, ooh, a Couch Burger. You know, like, I don't know. I'm a weird person though, so don't blame me. I will see y'all soon. Probably too soon for your own sanity. Bye.
Bye.
What, Bessie, you don't like Couch Burgers? Is he frozen?
Yeah, I think he's frozen.
Holy shit, he's frozen. Okay. I was like, dude, he's committed
like,
to this
he's
joke.
sitting so still.
Hey, Rena, who should we raid? Rena, who should we raid? Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Who's on right now?
Who's on right now? Who's on right now? Psst, by the way, they can still hear you, Rena. So.
Oh.
Don't say all those horrible things about Joey.
Well, Steven Spawn is playing Fall Guys.
He is. Oh, you know what? He is. But you know who else is playing right now? And the fact that you don't know.
Oh, that's yes.
The fact that you don't know, Rena. Are you not
No.
following?
Don't
Are you
out
not
me.
following?
Don't out me.
You're not. Wow.
I thought I
Rena.
was.
Wow.
I thought I was following him.
Wow. Hey guys. Hey, listen. Can we get ready?
Put me.
Get ready for the raid that we're about to do.
No.
Raid, Rena wasn't following you or Rena don't follow you. Get ready to spam that in his chat.
Okay.
All right, here we gotta go. Spam, Rena doesn't follow you.
No.
Bye, everybody. Have a great night. Here we go.